It was spring, and for senior high school students in the small town of Winchester, Tennessee, that meant prom was coming up. Jason and his buddies, Tyler and Kenny, were chilling after school discussing their plans for the night. "So you guys planning on hooking up on prom night?" I talked my brother into giving me his car. I'm gonna drive Sarah somewhere far and quiet. We'll have all the privacy we need. "What about you, Kenny?" "Me? I already have a go-to place. My aunt has this trailer in her backyard. She used to travel back in the days, but now she's pretty much settled. No one uses it, so she lets me use it." "You serious? Does she know why you go there? Or she thinks you're playing Dungeons and Dragons?" "Yeah, man. She knows how to keep a secret. All she ever told me was to play it safe." "Lucky. Karen was ready for this man, but I just don't know where to take her." "Well, I heard there's an abandoned cabin by Twin Creeks Marina. No one will hear you or see you for miles." "I don't know. Maybe that's gonna be my last resort." Two days later, on the night of prom, the friends all gathered after the party, ready to head off their ways, except Jason, who wasn't able to make any arrangements for the night. At the last moment, he grabbed hold of Tyler. "Dude, we've been friends for years. You gotta back me up this one night. It's great you're gonna make whoopee in your brother's car, but you gotta drop me and Karen off at the cabin by the creek. And on your way back, you have to pick us up, alright?" All right. Don't worry. I'm here for you. Just don't be late when I'm back." And so, Tyler and Sarah dropped off Jason and Karen by the creek before they went their way. The weather was chilly. There was a cool breeze in the air. "Come with me," Jason whispered. Blushing red in the moonlight, Karen followed him into the woods where they spotted the cabin. "It's really dark in here, Jason, and cold." "That's because you're too far away from me." Jason fired a match and lit a candle. The cabin was now hues of warm yellow and orange. However, the intensity of the moment was much more than just warm. The couple looked into each other's eyes, hoping to spend a memorable night. In about 2 hours, Tyler had dropped Sarah back home and returned to pick up Jason and Karen. However, after calling Jason and receiving no replies and honking the horn for 10 minutes straight, Tyler started to get a little annoyed and suspicious. He decided to bring them back himself and headed towards the cabin. But when he got there, he was shocked to see Karen weeping and cowering to the corner, and Jason laying motionless on the floor. "Karen, what happened?" Tyler yelled out. He was thundered to discover Jason was no more. Karen was in no condition to talk. In a panic, not knowing what to do, Tyler called the police. "It's okay. You don't need to panic. Tell us what happened." "Jason and I came here to spend the night together. But at the last moment, I realized I wasn't ready for this. I trusted him, but he tried to take advantage of me and forced me when I refused him. It happened in the heat of the moment. I was only trying to defend myself. He tried to chase me and I fought back. It was an accident. I never imagined tonight would end like this." After speaking with Karen, the police took her to the hospital. After an examination, the doctors discovered proof of injury and force and confirmed that what Karen confessed was true. Her medical reports were evidence for it. Karen was allowed to go home, but this event had traumatized her. She had never expected that the man she loved would do something like this to her. Her friends came by to check up on her, but she was often heard weeping in her room. It was after this incident that strange things started to occur, one after the other, in the small town of Winchester. Ed Ed and Tina were a young couple who were also graduating from the same local high school. It was on a Friday night, while Ed's parents were out of town, that Tina came over. It was the perfect chance, and the night went perfect. Just until Ed got into his car to drop Tina off home again. Who was that, Ed? What? Who? I thought I saw him, but Your parents didn't come back, did they? Not for a whole week. We have the house all to ourselves, babe. You don't need to be paranoid. Ed dropped Tina off and hurried back home before the nosy neighbors realized and would later tell his parents. However, when driving back into his garage, he started to sense something was off. He slowly got out of his car and paced towards his backyard. He furrowed his brows, seeing a ghastly figure in the shadows. "Who are you?" he demanded to know. "What are you?" Ed was found lifeless in his backyard the next morning. The cause of his death was not known till forensic reports showed he had passed away from a severe heart attack. The police suspected he had encountered something that had sent him into shock, after which he passed away. The townspeople were overawed and some frightened when similar incidents began occurring around town. "Let's drive back towards town. I'm feeling a little scared out here." "Why, baby? I'm here. You don't have to worry." "No, it's just that you know what's been going on. There's something haunting." "What? The evil spirit that preys on young lovers has been roaming around? Those are just rumors." "You saw that, right? Andrew, let's get out of here." "Hold on a minute. I don't buy this ghost nonsense. Has some creep been peeping at us this whole time?" Andrew stepped out of the car. It was just minutes before Amy started to suspect something wasn't right. It was eerily quiet. She got out of the car only to scream out in horror to see Andrew laying lifeless on the ground. A dark figure crouched over him. It's true!" In fear, she panicked and got into the car and stepped on the gas. Two days later, Andrew was discovered on a highway a little far from town, and Amy was found further down in the car that had crashed into the woods. Police were confused as to how and why these young couples were being targeted, but whatever was causing it, it seemed that these victims had witnessed something that frightened them severely. The deaths didn't take a stop there. During the next week, 2 other men were found lifeless in their homes. Both their girlfriends claimed that they had been with them before the occurrence. They too sensed a dark presence around them. But news started to spread like wildfire when one of the survivors came forward to speak out. It was Tina. I tried to warn Ed, but he didn't believe me. He made me skeptic instead. I regret not following my instincts. Perhaps none of this would have happened. Perhaps I could have saved him. That night, I saw something I'll never forget. I saw who was there. We went to the same high school. Though we rarely hung out, he was a friend of mine, but I never knew he could be so evil until I heard how he passed away. And no doubt, horrible things have been occurring around here since then. I saw him that night. It was none other than him. It was Jason Miller. Upon hearing Tina's statement, some people came forward saying she had gone crazy. But to their shock, suddenly others who encountered and survived a similar fate came forward claiming they too had seen Jason Miller. But how could that be? There was no doubt that he passed away. Soon enough, rumors began to spread that the ghost of Jason Miller was back haunting the town of Winchester. Had his restless spirit returned with the same evil intentions he had the night he died, unable to pursue them? Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel.
And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.